Hey, fantasy football fans, you're back with Mike and Tim talking again. I'm your co-host, the Commish. This is the Rhino. We're going to finish you up with episode 2 of our quarterback rankings, where we're going to look at quarterbacks 5 through 10. We're going to tell you who we're representing today.
And we're representing today quarterback from Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton. Great year last year, so if I can represent him today. And
I'm going to represent camera finder, Tim Tebow. I forgot we were doing a quarterback episode, so I went and put me on a lineman jersey, not thinking. We're doing a quarterback show, but I figure, oh well, I've done got it on, so I have got the cameraman locator Tim Tebow on today.
Cameraman locator Tim Tebow.
There's a camera within 25 yards. He will find it, spot it out, and get to it to make sure he is on there.
With that, I had the number 10 pick, so it's left to me. With the number 10 pick, I see that this guy I'm taking here is could possibly be a top 5-8 quarterback this year, but I'm going to take Denver Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning has had a great career. You know, he's only threw for under 4,000 yards twice in his career, and with that offense, my problem taking the 10 is their offense. I don't know what they're going to do yet, but they got a good young receiver in Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker. They did bring in Jacob Tamme, and I think Jacob Tamme could help, because he knows a lot of what Peyton Manning wants to do in his kind of offense and the way he likes to run it. So I think that'll be a lot of help for him getting those fantasy points that us owners we want. So number 10 will be Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning's going to fall to number 10 just because of those questions, but definitely, like a lot of guys, you can see Peyton easily being a top 5. He's a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he works out with Decker a lot here over the offseason, and Decker's done nothing but rave about.
And that could be one of them guys you look at, too, like maybe the reason why you took LaShawn McCoy in the first rounds, because, you can take somebody like a Peyton Manning in the second round,
Good pick, especially if you can get him that far. Number 9, I've got Matt Ryan, 4,100 yards last season, 29 touchdowns. With Roddy White to throw to, that guy catches any ball that comes around him. You got Tony Gonzalez, one of the most reliable tight ends in the history of the NFL, still playing. And, of course, you've got second-year Julio Jones, who is dynamite. Showed that last year and going to continue. So Matt Ryan, who's still early in his career, is gaining a lot of experience that he needs that by now is going to be ready to make sure his consistency level is going to become better. So Matt Ryan is going to be my guy at number 9.
All right, with Matt Ryan going off the board at number 9, that leaves me with number 8, and I take San Diego Chargers quarterback Philip Rivers. Some may think that's early, but I feel like that's a right spot for Philip. He is a quarterback that I see in fantasy football that really likes his stats anyways. And he did lose a target in Vincent Jackson, but I still liked Malcolm Floyd coming back. I like the addition of Robert Meacham. Yeah, they're not going to be great standout receivers, but they're going to do enough to help Philip Rivers, achieve what he did last year with 4,600 yards, 27 touchdowns. And, he's bringing back Antonio Gates. If he can be healthy, Philip Rivers will have a big year. So, Philip Rivers is my man at number 8.
Well, I'm not a big Philip Rivers fan. Philip Rivers definitely puts up stats, and that's why I don't like him, though, because I think he is an all-about-me kind of guy. He costed San Diego a playoff win, I felt like, several years back when he had a torn ACL, but he was determined to go play, and I think that was more for the reason of saying, if we lose, that's because I have a hurt knee. If we win, look what a hero I am playing through it. So I think they ended up costing San Diego over that, but and I've been bitter towards him ever since then. So moving up to mine, I'm at number 7 now. New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning. And this is another one of those guys, just missed the 5,000-yard mark last season, had over 4,900 yards, 29 touchdowns. Manning will put you up a lot of those games. Sometimes when that Giants rushing offense starts to struggle, Manning steps in, 350 yards, 400 yards. Several, I think 4 400-yard games last season. So he's a yardage machine. A lot of people may not like him for personal reasons, but when it comes to playing fantasy football, that guy can put up some numbers. And Victor Cruz coming on like he did last year, it come out of nowhere, really. Just really surprised a lot of people with.
And he started off with the practice squad, in the preseason games. I remember watching him 2 years ago, coming in preseason, And having those big games, like 170-some yards and 3 touchdowns, one of those preseason games, and got his name there, but didn't play much in the regular season that year. Next year, kind of the same way, but look what he done. He filled in that lineup last year, and a big year for Victor Cruz.
And, of course, with Hakeem Nicks on the other side, Hakeem Nicks is showing that guy's going to be a beast probably for several years to come. So, some reliable targets that Eli still has. So, I'm looking forward to him having another big season.
Eli's definitely stepped out of that shadow.
So, at number 7, I'm Eli Manning.
And that leaves me with the number 6, and I'm going to take Eagles quarterback Michael Vick. You know, Michael Vick, he's that dual threat, kind of like we look at running backs as dual threats. You know, they receive the ball and they run the ball. Vick, he throws the ball and runs the ball both, so he gives you points with passing and rushing yards, and adds up a lot for his fantasy owners. He gets those touchdowns throwing the ball and rushing. And I think he brings back a great group of receivers in Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin. I like Brett Selleck at tight end. I really like LaShawn McCoy coming down the backfield. He's that dual threat running back I was just talking about. He can catch the ball, he runs the ball, and that helps Vick a whole lot. That offense is really explosive. There's more speed on that offense to me than any team in the NFL.
And, of course, Vick's another one of those guys that a lot of people will question and say, well, he's injury prone. He's going to get hurt. So, you know what? You can't think about that right now. If you're going to build your team, feel safe and take the Michael Vick. Make sure you get a quality backup, but Vick can definitely lead you to a championship.
Because we're not worried about looking at what could happen, you know. If you're looking at what could happen, Michael Vick could go for 4,800 yards and 900 rushing, and besides getting to the hurt point.
Tom Brady could go out another season, first game to start off. So, you know, you can't play fantasy football that way. If Vick's healthy to start the season, don't be nervous about making him your guy.
That's right.
So that was our number 5 guy. So
number 6 guy.
Was Vick at number 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at number 5, and who we got at number 5? Okay, number 5 was mine. That's my guy that Rhino here's representing, Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton.
Do you feel? I mean, that kind of felt that as a stunner between us. You know, Cam Newton, top 5 this year, but you can't take nothing away from what he did last year, right?
You know, there's that such thing as that sophomore slump a lot of guys go through. But the thing about Cam Newton is he's going to be able to get you so much with his legs. Last year, 700 yards and 14 touchdowns rushing. I mean, very few running backs can hit double-digit rushing touchdowns. So when you've got a quarterback who can throw for 15 or 20 touchdowns a year, plus give you another 10 on the ground, that's 30 total touchdowns. I mean, I'll take that.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Cam Newton did break the 4,000-yard mark last season in passing, and you know, you put, let's bring him down a little more realistic. Say he hits for 3,200 this year. Well, if you're still hitting 3,200 yards passing, and you can tack you on another 500 or 600 rushing and 10 touchdowns, I mean, that's a winner right there. So, although I don't personally think Cam Newton's going to lead the Carolina Panthers very far this year, I'm thinking probably at best you've got 8-18 there. But when you look at the fantasy implications of it, Cam Newton can definitely take you to a championship. So, I'd recommend Cam Newton as my number 5.
Good pick at number 5 with Cam Newton.
So if we recap with where we're at this point, we've got that puts Cam Newton at number 5. We got Michael Vick at 6, Eli Manning at 7, Phillip Rivers at 8, Matt Ryan at 9, Peyton Manning 10. We've got Matt Schaub at 11, Ben Roethlisberger 12. Who we got at number 13, Rhino? We've got Tony Romo 13. We've got Jay Cutler 14 and Joe Flacco at 15.
And that leaves us 16. We had Josh Freeman.
At 16, Josh Freeman. So that'll conclude.
And that wraps up episode 2 of our quarterback rankings. Stay tuned in for episode 3 of our picks 1 through 4. And this is Mike and Tim. Talk again. Join us.